Fight fans, this is Chris Guzman with your weekly Thursday night injection of boxing talk, updates and all-out arguments. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance. It is Thursday night, November the 12th, 2009. We are live from Leg Up Production Studios, Hobart, Indiana, about 30 minutes outside of downtown Chicago. Emil Sotopovinsky Kegelman on my right. Mo, what is going on with you?
Not much, man. We just got done with the big union meeting. Tim and I basically watched a bunch of fights this weekend. My boy just turned 2. We had a little after party. We got to watch the
You had a party after your party.
Yeah.
Party for the 2-year-old. That's
Yep, we had an awesome birthday party for your little guy, pirate themed, and then we got to watch 3 judges act as if they only had one eye as well.
Yeah, they scored a little closer than what most of us thought, in our room anyways. We were kind of going more towards the champ, but they went more towards the crowd favorite in David Hay. But
David Hay did not win that fight.
We watched it after the party, but here in the States, you're like, man, that started at 2. That was an early party, but we recorded it and watched it afterwards. You know.
Oh yeah, no, we were able to watch it on our own time and not hurried, and we could rewind stuff if we needed to. And it's the joy of having TiVo. It's how the world watches TV now. Either that or at Justin's house. So, but we've got more to talk about that. Timmy, the producer, Patterson over there at the controls. Timmy, what's going on with you, and how can our listeners get in touch tonight?
not a whole lot going on with me, man. It's been a long day of dealing with good old Lamar issues. I got the Lamar joke of the week for you that I'll throw out to you later. I know you always enjoy those. I don't do those on the air. Sorry, our guy.
Or one guy.
Timmy, how can our listeners get in touch with us tonight?
Our listener.
Hit us on the hotline, 219-743-9743. Yahoo Instant Messenger is up and running. Keyword Bolo Punch Boxing Hour. But the best way to reach us is in the chat room via Ustream.tv. Join our fella friends out there. Little Holmes, Paul.
Cut him off now.
Cut him off. Cut him off.
And Judy.
I'm
Judy,
excited.
Judy, we love
I'm pretty
Judy,
excited to go to the fights this weekend.
We have got so many awesome fights this weekend
Friday and Saturday night.
On a local level and on a grand stage. First of all, on the local level, in Chicagoland area, Maryville, Indiana, to be exact, about 5 minutes from this spot where we're sitting right now in our studio. We've actually got 1 in a million fights. The first time ever, unfortunately, that 1 in a Million Incorporated has a boxing match to honor their founder, because he unfortunately passed away this summer.
Yeah, a bit of a tribute to him.
A bit of a tribute to him. His image is the image for the fight. He's the major image on the poster and up on the jumbotron up on the
and basically
out on the highway.
Their whole stable is coming out to represent.
With very, very few exceptions, everyone's going to be fighting. Mary McGee is I believe fighting. Jimmy
Is
Holmes.
Mary McGee fighting, or is she?
I do believe so. She'll definitely be there.
I don't think she's on the card. I'm not positive about that.
I don't know that for sure. And you would think someone in this area with a boxing
I didn't see her on the poster.
Looked at the lineup.
She's not. I just talked to the announcer on my way here. Actually, his name's Joe York, and he was telling me.
Oh, good friend of ours, Joe York.
Good friend of ours, Joe York, and the fight's called. The fight night is called A Night to Remember. Basically, like we said, in honor of our good friend Octavius James, and it's just the whole card's coming out, and it's going to be some great fights. And the main thing is our buddy Jimmy Holmes.
Did he say great farts?
Great friends. Jimmy Holmes is going to be on the card, and that's what we got to talk about.
Well, Jimmy Holmes. Obviously, Jimmy Holmes is a good friend of the show, and Derek Finley's on this card.
Derek Finley's on this card. There's going to be a lot of...
Ochoa is a fan favorite that's going to end up pulling out, you said, because of an injury?
Because of a hand injury is what I'm told by Jimmy, actually. So,
a bit of a disappointment there, but, I mean, we'll make it through the night.
Big Ty is not, as far as we know, his fight career is on hold. Undefeated heavyweight.
Kind of, now he's running one of them.
Well, he was always Octavius's right-hand man. Now he's going to be...
the CEO.
Now he's going to be the main man. So we've got that. We've also got some Paulie Malignaggi, Juan Diaz talk to discuss, because they were in Chicago on Tuesday for their official press conference to announce that fight is going to be on December the 12th.
And there's a couple guys that are fighting for the pound-for-pound title as well this weekend.
Yeah, there's this other little fight going on this week. To finish up what I was saying, Diaz Malignaggi was at Ditka's Tuesday afternoon, starting at 2:30.
Yeah.
I hate those daytime press conferences because
I mean, that's the way they do most of their press
Well,
conferences.
you either get out of. I either have to take off a half day, which is not a cool idea these days because I'm taking away too many days, or I need to jump on the expressway the second I get out of school and hopefully catch the end of it. Okay, walking in when everyone's walking out is not exactly the way.
It's
to
good for your
people.
autographs, but not a good way to.
Yes, because that's why I go to press conferences.
Not to greet the promoter.
Not usually, no. I actually walked into. Oh man, what was it? I think it was Mike Malo against Andrew Galata. I walked into that press conference as everyone was leaving because I was like a mile from the place. And traffic was so bad I couldn't get there. Me and Jimmy sat in that car for an hour and a half. Walked in, and the last guy...
That's not a big surprise for Chicago, partially probably why they lost the Olympics.
Well, the last guy that left... Yeah, you can't airdrop cars. The traffic is ridiculous. But the last guy to walk out was the promoter, Don King. Stayed in there, made sure everyone that walked in that door got every question answered that they might have had. I went in, and I talked to him for 15 minutes. He said, "Oh, are you media?" I said, "I'm media." He goes, "Sit down." When are you going to have Don King say sit down?
Exactly. So
whenever Don King is in the room, though, Don King has that way to make you feel like
you're just the coolest guy.
You're worth $1 million, even though you're worth a quarter.
Yeah. To him, you're not worth much. But I mean,
Octavius. Obviously he passed away, but he kind of had that where he was
that same. Not on the grand scale of Don King, but he can do that.
He met my wife once, like 3 years ago. 3 years passed, and then last year, 2 years would have passed, and last year we went to an event, the one at the in the parking lot of the Riverboat with the giant tent out there. I don't know if you guys were there for that or not. And he walked right up. He said, "Hey, Mrs. Guzman, how are you? Angie, right?" Now, that's not on a website. That's not something. That's not something that you would know just by logging on. You're going to know our name and everything by going on Bolo Punch, but you're not going to know the name of our wives. And the fact that he pulled that out, I was like, whoa, all right. It's not like he sat there and did research and made the necessary calls to what's Guzman's wife's name. On the grand scale, that's not that important. As far as, going to a boxing match. And
he wasn't so important that he was like Barack Obama that had somebody in his ear saying, listen, you're going to meet Mr. Guzman.
No.
His wife's name's Angie Guzman.
No.
And all that stuff.
That's not going to work. He flat out just knew it.
Yeah,
and that's crazy. Because how many people does that guy meet in a week? Well, did meet in his day.
Yeah, he was a pretty important guy to the whole Chicagoland boxing, basically. He was more important, I guess, actually, to Indiana boxing.
And to go with that, Joe York is the announcer of this, and
man, Joe York gets 2 mentions
he's gonna get,
in the same show.
He's gonna get 2.
With that, let's take a break.
No, we still got a minute. let me finish this up, and then you can send it to
That was just bad. When he
fun.
hears that, you're gonna totally have to pay for that.
No, I won't.
No, because he gets 75 cents every time someone says Tua. Oh.
Maybe he gets half a penny or something. I don't know. But he was mentioning to me about how Octavius has propelled his career, and the fact that he is the only licensed ring announcer in the state of Indiana, because there has been legislation that's gone on because of that, and all that's become because of Octavius and the belief he had in him. So it was kind of touching to hear Joe York say that.
So if I want to be a ring announcer, I can't? Because my name's not Joe York?
I believe you have to go through, sign some paperwork now, so.
Okay.
Pay some couple $1 paperwork fee, I'm sure now. But
Paperwork
we got
fee.
30 seconds, so.
That's great. Thank you for. We have 2 minutes left. I want to talk a little bit about Joe York, and then I'm going to give it back to the host with 30 seconds. And now I ruined it, so now it's like 5 seconds. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. This is your Bolo Punch.
Generation Insurance Family, serving Indiana families for over 80